Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Rise and shine. Good morning. Oh, wow. And the sun just came from behind the clouds. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy triumphant Thursday. Happy testimonial Thursday. Happy tremendous Thursday. Happy terrific Thursday, right? How many amazing and positive T words can we come up with today, right? Triumphant, testimonial, terrific, right? Thursday. Super excited to be before you this morning. My name is Minister Asheia. For those of you that do not know me, I have been a part of Destiny Center since 2008. So it has been quite some time, and I have grown tremendously since I walked in the doors. Thank you so much for jumping on prayer this morning. Thank you for spreading the love, sharing the love, letting somebody else know that we pray here every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's both on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. So if for some reason you don't see us, good morning. Good morning, Mother Pat. If for some reason you tune in on YouTube and you don't see us, then jump on Facebook. And that's simply because in order for us to stream to Facebook and YouTube simultaneously, we have software that we use. But if for some reason there's technical difficulties, I remember there was a couple days ago, well, I don't even know, maybe that was last week, that Minister Sheila was having some technical difficulties with the software. And so she just went live on Facebook. So if you are a YouTube watcher and for some reason you don't see us on YouTube, or we're on and then we end up dropping off because something happens, then come back to Facebook, because then that means that particular prayer leader just logged in directly to Facebook and bypassed the software. And so we appreciate you for jumping on Facebook and YouTube, and whether you're watching it live. Good morning, Carolyn. Whether you're watching this live or whether you are watching the replay, we appreciate you for jumping on and for letting us know that you are here. We love you. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area, we would love to have you join us for service on Sundays. Our ministry currently meets at the Murfreesboro Airport. So Murfreesboro Private Airport, it's really cool to be able to have service and, look out at all the glass and look upon all the private planes, and just imagine that you flew your plane in to service and walked right into the airport and sat down and got an amazing word, and then just got back on your plane and flew to wherever you came from. And so it's just really awesome to be able to sit there and dream about your next level and just get accustomed to that next level. Get accustomed to the people that are already functioning at the level where you want to go. And so we have the opportunity to do that every single week at the Murfreesboro Private Airport. Our service starts on Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. Good morning, Robin. Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You'll find us there. And then last announcement is on the first Wednesdays of the month, we will be starting, our pastors will be starting a Navigate podcast that will take place live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. at the Murfreesboro Private Airport. The rest of the week will continue, the rest of the month, Wednesdays for the rest of the month will continue to be virtual only. If you have joined us for Bible study or midweek refresher within the past couple weeks, you've probably noticed that Dr. Ben has already shifted over into more podcast style teaching on Wednesday. So that's just to give you a little taste of what is to come. And you'll be getting more information about the Navigate podcast. Excited about all the all the new and amazing things that God is doing in us, through us, and for us. We just finished a 24-hour fast on Tuesday. And one of the things that were the main thing that we're believing for is this season of new. This season of newness, walking into the new. This is August, right? So this is the 8th month according to our calendar, and 8 represents new beginnings. This is a month of new beginnings. I know a lot of you are believing for new beginnings. I'm believing for a new beginning, and definitely standing in agreement with you in whatever area you are believing for a fresh start, a new start, a restart, a rejuvenation, a refreshing, right? In whatever area you are believing for. So real quickly this morning, I want to talk to you as we are stepping into this season of new, as we are preparing for, or as we should be preparing for this season of new, as we are stepping into new, as we are receiving new opportunities, new relationships, new friendships, new partnerships, new contracts, new streams of impact, right? New areas where we can make a difference. We can impact the lives of other people, new streams of influence, new streams of cash flow and resources, right? Whatever it is that you're believing for, I want to talk to you really quickly about making room for the new. Making room for the new. So we're believing for new, and God, we thank you for new. We thank you for this day. We thank you for new grace and new mercy. Your word says that they're new every morning. We thank you for today's benefits. Your word says that you daily load us with benefits. So God, we thank you that the benefits of today are different than the benefits of yesterday, are different than the benefits of tomorrow. Every single day you give us fresh, new benefits for that day, insight for that day, direction for that day, provision for that day. God, we thank you for it. So we're excited about the new, right? But I want to ask you, have you truly made room for the new? Have you made room for the new? Have you asked God, what things do I need to do to prepare for the new? What must I do to prepare for my next level? I'm not talking about the works that you do to achieve the next level. That's not what I mean. I'm not talking about, okay, if you are looking to get promoted on your job, so you know that maybe you need to get another certification in order to qualify for the next level of promotion. Okay, that is one way of preparing for the new, but that is pushing towards the new. I'm talking about the other aspects. If you want to be promoted, then how are you preparing for the additional responsibilities that come with that next level of promotion? I'm not talking about the certification of the learning of completing the tasks on the next level. I'm talking about on that next level, is there more of your time that is going to be required? How are you organizing your time now in order to prepare for the next level? Are you moving on the next level? Are you shifting from more of a tactical role where you accomplish tasks day in, day out? Are you moving from that to more of a strategy role where now you're getting paid to think more and do less? So you're physically doing less, but you're mentally accomplishing more. Then what are you doing in order to sharpen your brain for the next level? Not talking about the certification of the task, but how are you sharpening your mind for the next level? Okay. Mother Pat said, my new of unclutteredness in my house. Absolutely. Okay. So she's making room for new by decluttering her current situation. Good morning, Shay. That's one of the ways that she's making new. What are some of the ways that you're making new? right? If you are believing for a new car, a new house, have you made new, how are you making room for that new? What specific things are you doing? Not just increasing cash flow to be able to pay for the new, but in your thinking, making new, right? Okay, so let's go over to Isaiah 54 really quickly. So we're going to do Isaiah 54 verses 1 through 5. Isaiah 54 verses 1 through 5. Okay, actually, let me see. Put that on the screen. Isaiah 54, 1 through 5. Okay. So this is verse 1. Shout for joy, O barren one, she who has not given birth. Break forth into joyful shouting and rejoice, she who has not gone into labor with child. For the spiritual sons of the desolate one will be more numerous than the sons of the married woman, says the Lord. Enlarge the site of your tent, verse 2, to make room for more children. Stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. Do not spare them. Lengthen your tent ropes and make your pegs or stakes firm in the ground. Verse 3, for you will spread out to the right and to the left, and your descendants will take possession of nations and will inhabit deserted cities. Verse 4, do not fear, for you will not be put to shame, and do not feel humiliated or ashamed, for you will not be disgraced, for you will not forget the shame of your youth, and you will no longer remember the disgrace of your widowhood. Verse 5, for your husband is your maker. The Lord of hosts is his name, and your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel, who is called God of the whole earth. Okay, let's kind of dig into this a little bit, and let's just kind of break this down as we're thinking about making room for the new, enlarging our spaces, increasing our capacity, expanding our ability to receive. How we're praying for the new, we're believing for the new, but how are we expanding our capacity to receive the new? Because you can't step into the new with the same energy of the old. You can't step into the new with the same mindset of the old. You can't step into the new with the same habits, with the same disciplines of the old. So how are you increasing your energy, shifting your mindset, expanding, what you're doing, what things you are intentionally increasing your capacity for this next level, right? So in this particular scripture, we're talking to a woman who is barren. She has not been able to give birth. Good morning, Marquita. We're talking to a woman who is barren. She has not been able to give birth. God says, even before the children come, break forth into joyful shouting and rejoice. You, yes, you, the one who has not gone into labor with child, go ahead and break forth into shouting, because the spiritual sons, your spiritual sons, will be more numerous than the sons of the married woman. Okay, yes, you will still be able to produce. I know you've been barren. You've not been able to give birth. But the Lord is saying, this is Isaiah 54 and 1, hey, go ahead and shout right now. Because there's a whole group of sons that I have prepared for you. And the sons that are going to come out of you are going to be even greater than the sons of the one who physically gave birth. So you don't have to be frustrated and mad and upset of why you're not in that situation. I have something else for you. You can still increase. There is still increase on your life, but this is what I need you to do in order to be in position to receive the increase that is coming. Verse 2, enlarge the site of your tent. That's what I need you to do. I need you to expand where you are. I need you to increase your capacity to receive what I have for you. This is one of my favorite passages, groups of scriptures, because God says, don't wait until the children come to start expanding. Don't wait until the newness comes to start expanding. Don't wait until the new job comes to then start changing your schedule, to then start adding in more exercise, to then start changing whatever you eat, to then start using a calendar to better manage your time. Don't wait until the new position comes. Go ahead and prepare for it now. Go ahead and enlarge the place of your tent now. Because unless you have the room to receive, then how can you receive? Go ahead, enlarge the site of your tent to make room for more children. Then not only does he say, enlarge the site of your tent, another characteristic I love of God is that he is a specific God. Not only did he tell her to enlarge the site of her tent, he specifically told her in what areas to enlarge, in what areas to increase her capacity. He specifically says, stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. Do not spare them. Lengthen your tent ropes. Make your pegs or stakes firm in the ground. He goes into specific details. He says, do not spare them. Stretch out your curtains. Do not spare them. As you are preparing for the next, don't try to put limitations on the preparation. Go ahead and go all in. Go all in preparing for the new. Go all in preparing for the next level. Go all in stretching for what is to come. Don't spare. Then make your pegs, your stakes firm in the ground. As you are preparing for expansion, make sure that your foundation is solid, so that even though your tent is bigger, a stronger wind can't just come and blow the whole thing down and knock the tent down. Make sure that your stakes are firm in the ground. Let's make sure we are deeply rooted, firmly planted in the word as we prepare for the new. Let's make sure our foundation is strong. Let's make sure that the wind and the waves and all the opposition and the challenges that will also come with the next level, because you know that's coming with the next level, right? Oh no, I just want to make sure. I know y'all know this because you the 7 a.m. crew, but I just want to make sure for other people that might watch this later that might not know. So I'm not saying this for you guys. I'm saying this for them. On the new level, the new level of blessing, the new level of increase, the new level of impact and influence and all of that, you know that's going to come with new opposition, right? New tribulations, new opposition, new challenges, new all of that. It's not the new is not one-sided. We're believing for the new, but at that next level, there is another level of challenges that is waiting for you when you get there, right? So he's preparing her for this. And he said, make sure while you strap this tent in preparation for the new, make sure that your foundation is that much stronger. Make your pegs and stakes firm in the ground. For you will spread out to the right and to the left. Don't you worry. Don't you look at what you've not been able to produce in the past. Don't look at what you've not been able to give birth to in the past. Don't you look at what you've not been able to ways that you've not been able to duplicate yourself, to increase and multiply in the past. Don't worry about all of that, because guess what? When you get finished enlarging this tent, when you get finished making sure that your foundation is strong for this next level, verse 3, oh baby, you best believe you will spread out, not just to the right, but you spreading out to the left. You are expanding on both sides, and your descendants will take possession of nations and inhabit deserted cities. So not only will you be able to produce, but what you produce is going to make impact. Not only are you going to be able to produce and bring forth and multiply and duplicate, but that which you produce in this season of expansion will make impact. It's going to take possession of nations. It's going to inhabit deserted cities. It is going to bring life to dark places. That which you produce after you have prepared for it is now going to bring new. Your new is going to bring new. That's what this is saying. Your new is going to bring new. It is going to duplicate and bring new to other areas. Verse 4, do not fear, for you will not be put to shame, and do not feel humiliated or ashamed, for you will not be disgraced. Don't worry about it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of the new that's coming. Don't worry. I'm not setting you up to fail. No, you will expand to the right and to the left, but don't feel humiliated about what you weren't able to produce in previous seasons. Because there is a blessing that rests on you now for expansion, and it's coming. Prepare for it. You're going to forget the shame of your youth. That's what this says. For you will forget the shame of your youth, and you will no longer remember the disgrace of your widowhood. You won't even be able to remember the seasons where you were not able to produce in ways that you thought you were going to be able to produce. You don't have to worry about being humiliated, because you're not even going to be able to remember that. You know how sometimes, have you ever been in a situation where maybe God was telling you to start a new business, go back to school, start a school, take part in an opportunity? I don't know, step into something new, right? So you knew God was telling you to step into something new, but maybe you had tried to step into something new before, and it didn't work out the way that you thought it was going to work out. I know so we don't even have time today to go for me to even tell all my stories of opportunities or things that I stepped out on. The end result was not exactly what I thought the end result was going to be when I started, right? There were lessons learned. I stretched, I grew. It was for my good. But what I got out of it was different than what I initially thought I was going to get out of it, right? And so sometimes when you say, okay, I know God is telling me to do this, I'm going to start this thing, I'm going to step out on this thing, then all of a sudden you can, if you're not careful, you can go from being real confident, and then 5 minutes later, doubt will just come and creep right in. And doubt will come to try to remind you of things that you did in the past that didn't work out the way you thought they were going to work out. Ways that you felt like you failed. Ways that you felt like you didn't measure up. All those thoughts will come in order to create fear in your heart and cause you to doubt whether or not this is really God telling you to do this thing. Oh, you remember the last time you tried that? Oh, you know what? You ain't never really got no good results. Oh, honey, you've been invested and you've been starting businesses. How many have you started? How many? I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff, right? So, how many times have you stepped out? God told you to move. How many times have you moved? How many times have you whatever? And it just didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out. How many times? So then this time, when you know for sure, just like in Isaiah 54, that God said, no. Regardless of what the fact that you've not been able to produce, you've not been able to reproduce, go ahead and sing, go ahead and get excited because there's new coming in your life. Then he says, expand and prepare for the new. Then he says, you know what? Don't worry about being humiliated. Don't worry about being put to shame. Baby girl, son, I am not looking to embarrass you. Oh, you can trust me on this, that it's your time for new. And you've prepared for the new. Yes, you will stretch out to the right and to the left, but then don't worry about being humiliated. Don't worry about being put to shame. And not only are you don't have to worry about humiliation coming from the outside, from other people humiliating you, and you don't have to worry about humiliation coming from the inside, where you have been bringing up negative thoughts yourself. Because sometimes our worst enemy is ourselves. It's not that everybody else is out there blasting our names on social media, talking badly about us, gossiping about us. It's not even all of that. It's you and the self-doubt and the negative thinking and negative talking that you tell yourself before you wake up. Oh, girl, I don't know who you thought you were. I don't even know why you applied for that job. You knew you wasn't qualified for that when you applied. See, that's why you haven't heard back from them people, because they got your application and they said, well, who in the world is this? Oh, she don't have the qualifications for this job. Why would she apply? All of that doubt on the inside of you, that wasn't other people. That's you. That was you, baby girl. That was you. God is saying you're not even going to be able to humiliate yourself because you're not even going to remember. You are going to forget the shame of your youth, and you will no longer remember the disgrace of your widowhood. You're not even going to be able to remember the fact that you weren't able to produce the last time. You're not even going to be able to remember the fact that you hadn't been able to reproduce. You've been looking around, seeing all these other people being able to duplicate themselves, and you've not been able to do it. And you're like, well, dog, God, I love you just like they love you. How come I hadn't been able to reproduce? And God said, no. Don't worry about what they've been able to do, because what you're going to be able to bring forth is going to be more than even what they were able to do. And you're not even going to be able to remember that you weren't able to bring forth, because your husband is your maker. Verse 5, the Lord of hosts is his name. The Redeemer, and your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel. See, this time, your husband is the one that lays with you, that impregnates you, that causes you to get pregnant and then give birth. So that's why in this scripture, in verse 5, they're saying, you know what? Don't worry about all that stuff that you try to produce in your own strength. Don't worry about why the other things didn't come forth. You don't even have to worry about this time, because this time, the one that is impregnating you is your maker. It is your maker that is impregnating you this time. And you best believe, if God is the one that put something in you, then you're going to give birth. You are going to give birth this time. Oh, this is why you can say, you can take it to the bank this time, baby. This is why you need to prepare. This is why you need to enlarge the place of your tent, because all that other stuff that you were trying to do before in your own strength, you was trying to impregnate yourself. You ain't even got to worry about any of that stuff, because this time The one that places seed on the inside of you is your maker. He is your husband. That's the reason that you're going to be able to give birth this time. So I want to encourage you guys this morning. Let's make sure that we are not just believing for the new, but we are preparing for the new. Let's live out Isaiah 54. Let's enlarge the place of our tents. God, show us in the ways that we need to increase our capacity. It's so interesting. We were having this conversation the other day. I was having this conversation with one of the teams that I'm on the other day, and we were talking about scheduling and calendars, right? We were just talking about calendars, and we were kind of going back and forth and talking about that. And I said, okay, well, there were some people on the team that was like, oh yeah, I just keep up with everything in my mind. I got a lot going on, but I keep up with everything in my mind. And I said, okay, and that's cool, and that's fine, and that's good. But when you're really doing something, and you really have a lot going on, honey, your mind cannot keep up. You better find you a calendar, whether it's a paper calendar or whether it is a digital calendar. When you get to the point to where you say, you know what, I have to be the most excellent steward over my time, then you start scheduling some stuff. You start putting some stuff down in that schedule. You start saying, okay, from 6:15 to 6:45, I'm doing this. From 6:45 to 7:30, I'm doing that. From 7:30, when you say, okay, God, you know what? I need every single minute accounted for. You know how you do zero-based budgeting, where you have your budget, your monthly, whatever, and you say, you know what? Every single penny of mine has an assignment. Every down to the dollar, you go ahead and you categorize all of your money, and you say you have apps and stuff that can do it, or you can just put it in your spreadsheet or whatever, or write it down and say, okay, this is how much I have coming every single month. I'm going to put so much in tithes, so much in offerings, so much in savings, so much in investing, so much in this, so much in that, right? Every single dollar that comes into your hands is accounted for. They call that zero-based budgeting, right? You plan it down to the dollar until you get to zero, every single dollar. So when you decide that you want to budget your time like that, when you say, okay, God, for this next level, I have to be more mindful of how I'm spending my time. Help me to think of my time as though it is a budget. You've allotted me 24 hours for the day. How am I spending that time down to the minute? Right? You're going to need a calendar for that. So maybe in you enlarging the place of your tent and stretching out, maybe it's something as simple as you getting a calendar. Maybe it's something as simple as you figuring out you changing your calendar. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, as much as I love my phone, and if you know me, I am constantly taking notes, right? I'm always typing and punching in my phone because I am a natural note taker. God has just gifted me to just always take notes, right? So in my phone, I have notes about everything. Look at all these notes. These are all separate note files, right? When you go into each one of these, there's notes. I take notes on everything, right? So I'm naturally always taking notes. And so I'm like, okay, so I love the digital aspect of that. But when it comes to keeping up with appointments and stuff to do and all that kind of stuff, honey, there is nothing like a good old-fashioned calendar, monthly and weekly. Let me look at the whole month at a glance and see what I have going on. Let me look at the whole week to week, and see what I have going on. And then let me figure out day to day what that's going to look like. The digital version, that just, that's cool. And some people love that. But you know what? That just doesn't quite work for me. I need to be able to look at all of it physically. So what am I saying? It may be as simple as you figuring out what's going to work best for you for this next level as you prepare for the new. It can just be as simple as that. God is saying, just manage your time better. Okay, let's figure out how to do that. Just like he said, enlarge the place of your tent. Then he went and specifically said, here's how you're going to enlarge the place of your tent. You're going to stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. Do not spare them. You're going to lengthen your tent ropes, and you're going to make your pegs or stakes firm in the ground. There's some specifics. He wants to specifically tell you how you're going to increase your capacity for the next level. So that's what I want to challenge you to do over the rest of the next week. I want you to be listening for Holy Spirit to tell you exactly how you're going to enlarge the place of your tent for your next level. He'll give it to you. He'll tell you exactly that. He will tell you exactly that. There were some things that God told me to do. I knew I needed to be working out. I knew I needed to be exercising more. I knew I needed to be active because of what I do. I sit in front of the computer for hours on end. I knew I needed to be more physically active. And I said, okay, God, but I need you to give this to me in a way that's just for me. And there was something specific that he told me to do. He told me to, and I'll just share this with you guys. He told me to go. My neighborhood has a community Facebook group. He told me to go into my community Facebook group and put a post in there and say to the people, hey, is anybody looking for or needing an exercise partner, a walking buddy, somebody that we can just work out together in the neighborhood? I really need to be more accountable. I know I need to lose weight as a part of my weight loss journey, and I want to connect with more people. I'm in a season of intentionally connecting with more people. I need to get to know more people in the neighborhood. So who wants to be my walking buddy? This is what I put in our community Facebook group. Who wants to be my walking buddy? Who wants to be my whatever? Okay, I could have said, girl, well, that's embarrassing. You got to do a post in a Facebook group to ask people in your neighborhood to work out with you. All the thoughts, right? All the things. Of course, they could have come. I didn't care about that because I'm like, no, I need to do something. And God told me, put this post in there. I put that post in there. There was so many people that responded. There was like 10 or 12 people that responded saying, oh, I'll walk with you. Oh, I'll walk with you. Oh, well, what time are you wanting to walk? Are you wanting to walk in the mornings? Are you wanting to work out in the evenings? Oh, I can do that. Oh, yeah, I would love to. There were so many people that I had to just kind of be like, okay, I can't walk with 12 people at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what? Hey, God, now I need you to show me intentionally the relationships of who it is that you would have me to connect with. And then everybody else, hey, y'all all see all of these people are interested in walking. Maybe y'all need to get together and build community amongst yourselves. And God specifically highlighted certain people and said, connect with this person, connect with that person. And it has been glorious. It has been so good. It has been so good when I get up and I put my clothes on and I get up and I get ready to go outside because I know such and such is on the corner waiting on me. Or by the time, I got to start at this time and they'll start at this time and we'll meet together at the corner. Well, I have to show up because I know somebody's depending on me. When I wasn't willing to show up for myself, right? Even when I wasn't willing to show up for myself, God said, reach out and find some more accountability. Reach out and build some new relationships because at least I know you'll show up for them. And when I tell you, I have been showing up, I'm like, okay, come on. Hey, I'm on my way. Hey, okay. All right, let's do this time. Let's do that time. Okay, I have prayer on Thursday, so we're going to have to shift the time. Let's start a little bit earlier. Can I meet you at this time? Can I meet you at that time? Boom, we right where we're supposed to be, right on that corner. We meet at like clockwork. My husband is looking at me and just smiling. And I was like, honey, what's going on? He said, I'm just looking at you. You are so excited about getting up and walking in the morning. Yeah, I am now that I have some accountability people to walk with. God knew exactly what I needed. He said, okay, for this next level, we're talking about new. For the new, you're going to need new relationships for the new. You're going to need new accountability for the new. You're going to need new habits for the new. You're going to need new disciplines for the new. You're going to need to be in new environments for the new. You're going to need new connections for the new. And I said, okay, all right. And so when he told me, put yourself out there and put it in the Facebook group, hey, I'm on this journey of becoming better, but I don't want to have to do it by myself. Who else in this neighborhood is looking to change? Let's go exercise together. I need to meet more people. I'm pretty sure some other people. Let's go exercise together. And apparently it resonated with so many people because they're like, oh, I need to too. Yeah, I need to too. Yeah, I want to come. Well, can I come? Well, I want to walk with you. I'm like, whoa, everybody seemed to need this. That was me enlarging the place of my tent. That was me stretching out my curtains. That was me making sure my pegs were firm. That was me doing that. So he said, okay, yeah, I'm going to bring you the new relationships, but here's how I need you to prepare for that. And then even in this will prepare for the next. Because even the people that I'm meeting and the people that I said, okay, God, there's so many people, the people that he is intentionally connecting me with, I said, whoa, okay. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so you do what? Oh, okay. You want me to go where? Oh, okay, sure. I'll go. I'll ride with you. We can do that. Oh, you do what? It's just like, whoa, okay, this is a whole nother thing. But God was saying, I'm preparing you for the next. But you have to expand to be able to receive the new. So, God, we thank you for the newness that you're doing in our lives. We thank you for the new that you're doing in us, through us, for us. And God, we thank you that just like the barren woman in Isaiah 54 had to expand and enlarge the place of her tent to receive, to be ready to receive the children that were coming her way, so that she could stretch out to the right and stretch out to the left. Because the maker, her husband, the maker, which was her husband, was going to impregnate her. In that same way, God, we thank you for increasing our capacity, for enlarging our abilities to receive. Now, God, we know that you are going to speak to us and give us the specific areas in where we need to stretch to be ready to receive. God, we are so grateful that you are a specific God. We don't have to be wandering around in the wilderness, not understanding or knowing or just clueless about what to do, because you always give specific instruction. I love that about you. You didn't just say enlarge the place of your tent. After that, you told her to stretch out her curtains, lengthen her curtains, spare no expense, don't hold back. Make sure the pegs are firmly planted in the ground, because there is a new wind and a fresh wind of challenge, a fresh wind of opposition that's coming in the new place. And you want to make sure that this big, beautiful new tent does not blow down. You better make sure that your stakes are firm in the ground. God, in that same way, you're doing that for each and every one of us. You are speaking to us in this moment and in the moments to come, and you're telling us specifically where we need to stretch our capacity to receive. You're telling us what to do. You're telling us who to call. You're telling us who to connect with. You're showing us what to say. You're showing us where to go. You're showing us where to stop going and what to stop doing, God. You're giving us those specifics. You're helping us solidify our foundation in you. We're increasing the amount of time that we spend reading your word and listening to your word and praying and laying at your feet. You are helping us make sure our foundation is firm for this next level. That the wind blows as we step into the new, as we step into these new seasons, these new spaces, these new graces, these new places. When the winds blow, when the opposition comes, the new levels of challenges come, they won't blow us down. We will be deeply rooted, firmly planted, like trees by the river that bring forth much fruit in due season, and our fruit shall remain. In the season of the new, not only will we be able to produce, but what we produce will remain. Just like that woman, even her descendants, it said that even when she began to produce, they would inhabit desolate cities. That our new will create new in every area of our lives. God, thank you for speaking to us. Thank you for enlarging us, stretching us, because you love us. We love you. Lead, God, direct us in all things. In Jesus' name, amen. Yes, new beginnings. Absolutely. I'm excited about you guys' new beginning. Thank you guys so much for jumping on here this morning. Have a blessed and amazing week. Be prepared to come back next week or throughout the week and just drop a comment. Let us know. Give us a testimony of a testament of something new that God is doing in you, something that he showed you, how you're enlarging the place of your tent, what you are preparing for. I know somebody said that they were decluttering, whether you're decluttering or however you are expanding to be able to receive the new. We're excited about the new thing that is happening in your life. Have an amazing week. Don't forget, we are here every single morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Minister Marquita Maxey will be on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. You don't want to miss that. And then we'll be right back here again for service on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We love you. Go and grow. Bye.